What's up everyone, welcome to Workshop Rebuild. In today's episode, I'll be on the Gravely GMT9000 commercial tractor, and I'll share with you guys some features that are on this tractor as well as the startup, so stick around. I finally managed to bring the Gravely GMT9000 outside. The engine has been rebuilt. The radiator has been gone through, everything has been tied into the engine, the wiring has been set up so I can start it and run the engine. There is still a lot of fine-tuning to do, and there's a whole bunch of gauges that I still have to hook up to the wiring. The wiring, which is off to the left, has to be still tied into the dash. Many gauges still don't work, but I have the necessary wiring set up so I can start and run this engine. I'll give you guys a walk around on the Gravely GMT9000. Once I'm done with the walk around, I'll start this engine up. It sounds really nice, but I still have to fine tune it a bit. I'll give you guys an insight how I drive this and handle this machine from my point of view. This is a 4-cylinder liquid cooled engine, hence there is a radiator up front. On the side, you guys can see the oil filter, the ignition coil, the points, the fuel pump, alternator, which I haven't set up yet, and over there far to the left, I have a pressure gauge just hooked up to the engine block. I did not tie it up to the gauge, and that's why I have a pressure gauge set up right on the engine block. Looking at the engine side of things, the engine is placed up front. We have the radiator at the very front. I did not hook up anything else on the front. I just wanted to share with you guys the GMT9000 commercial plate up front. That's why I put that on. On the bottom, you guys can see a canister. I do have to hook that up to the fuel pump. For some reason, this fuel pump has one inlet and two outlets. So this outlet is going to the carburetor, and this outlet I will hook up to the canister because this fuel tank in the back does not have a return. That's why there are two return lines on the fuel pump. One would be a return, and then one goes into the carburetor. So I'm going to hook up a canister right here so I catch that fuel. On the right side of the tractor, we have two foot brakes. So one is for the left side and one is for the right side. We have a nice step on the side or a footrest. We have really big wheels on the back. These happen to be 29 by 12.5 by 15. These are still in great condition, and this is still the original paint on the rims, front and back. When we move to the back of the machine, all we have on this machine is a drawbar. There is a custom-made drawbar and hitch assembly that I will be mounting very soon. This was the original drawbar, so I'll bring you guys close in here. Has a little bit of wear on there, but that is the original setup. There is a cover on the back, which is in this area, and a PTO shaft for the rear would come out of this housing, but you'd need a completely different plate. So that's where the PTO shaft would come out, but this plate is just capped off since this tractor did not have that option. In the rear, we have the fuel tank. I'm not sure exactly how many liters it holds, but to me it looks to be around 30 liters. So moving up on the tractor, we have a nice roll bar. This is a factory option. I'm not sure if it came with a cab. Moving to the left, we have the left tire. Original rim paint as well, very nice condition. So off to the left, we have 3 hydraulic levers. The valve block has 6 outlets, so 2 are for 1 cylinder underneath. In case you mount the mower deck, you can raise and lower the mower deck. The other 2 are for accessories. In case you have a front end loader, you can raise and lower that with these 2 hand levers. I'll share with you guys the transmission on this commercial tractor. We have a low and a high speed. Low, you can go from 1 to the 4th gear. We also have the lever right now in 3rd gear, but this lever can also be put in neutral, which is right there in the middle. This tractor then goes also in high and has the same function from 1 to 4. So in total, you'll have 8 gears. Low and 4 and high and 4 gives 8 gears. To engage this mechanism, off to the right, we have our hand clutch. So to move the tractor forward, we'll go forward, and if you bring this handle backward, you'll drive in reverse. Off to the left of the range and the gear shifter, we have our front PTO engage or disengage lever, the front PTO is not on the front of the tractor. It's basically right here on the transmission. So underneath these levers, we have the drive shaft from the engine to the transmission. And then when we engage this, the PTO shaft will turn on right under the drive shaft. Up front, we have power steering down below, a very nice feature. That cylinder has been rebuilt. It is a fairly big tractor. The stance is quite bigger than anything that I've shared with you guys previously. The John Deere 400 doesn't come close. This is a 4-cylinder 26 horsepower engine. As for the John Deere 400 is only a 20 horsepower or maximum 20 horsepower tractor. So now I'll give you guys the startup on the Gravely GMT9000. I just shared with you guys the Gravely GMT9000. I started it up and I drove it around for you guys. In my opinion, it sounds very good, but I do have to make some minor adjustments. Nothing too major. The wiring is still a mess, so I'm going to have to get into that. I will look around the engine if I see any leaks or something like that, but I'm not sure that there are any as of yet. I will bring it inside on the concrete pad once again, and then I'll see if there's any leaks. If there are, I will address them. I will have to address the fuel pump issue. There are 2 outlets, so I'm going to have to figure out, am I going to bring one hose back into the fuel tank, or am I just going to close it off? And so those are some decisions I have to make on my end. I shared with you guys the lever system over here and these speeds which this tractor has. It also has a very nice hand clutch, so to push forward, your tractor goes forward, and pull it backwards, the tractor goes in reverse. It's a very simple way of handling this tractor. It has a beautiful power steering, everything works there. I don't think I have to bleed anything, so that's very nice. I added brand new coolant, so it's 50-50 mix, and everything seems to be just fine. In my next video, I will be sharing with you guys how I finalize this machine, so I'll be doing a little bit of the wiring, I will be tidying up this machine in general, and I will mount most of the panels to finish up this machine. The seat still has to get mounted, as I just have it on some blocks right now, so I'll be doing that as well. Once everything is together, I'll bring you guys back for a final video on this Gravely GMT9000. If you guys have any questions about this Gravely in general or about any other projects I'm working on, please leave a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you guys like this video, hit that like button down below. It helps this channel massively. If you enjoy all the content that you see on my channel, consider subscribing if you haven't already. So as always, stay tuned.